Coon's good. Brian, you want to start us?
Hey, Coach.
Hey, Brian. How you doing?
Yeah, good. And you? How's your first camp in this new position?
Yeah, it's been great. We've had 7 practices. The guys are making a lot of progress. It's just all about development right now, getting lined up in the right position, playing hard, running to the football. I've really enjoyed the experiences of working so far with Domata Peko and Warren Sapp. I've said it before, those guys have a combined 28 years of experience, right, of playing in the NFL. Peko's in the Polynesian Hall of Fame. Obviously Sapp's the first ballot Hall of Famer. Those guys bring the juice and they bring the energy, and they're a pleasure to work with.
Adam, go ahead.
Quency Wiggins is somebody that Coach Prime mentioned of being impressed with him during spring ball. What have you continued to see out of his development?
Yeah, well, first off, his attitude and effort has been tremendous every day, and he's doing a really good job. He's got the size, speed, height, weight, athletic ability, kind of checks all those boxes. We've got a good rotation going right now. He's gotten some reps with the ones. I love where he's headed right now. Just need to continue to work on the fundamentals and, assignment sound, knowing where to be, when to be there, knowing what the call is. But I'm very, very proud of Quency. He's had a great camp so far, and he's going to continue to get better and better.
Okay.
Hey, you have something like 160 years combined experience of NFL experience on this staff. Thanks for that stat. I guess, how much did that come into play when Coach Prime was going through what he went through, and you guys just had to manage the store without him?
Yeah, no, it was great. I mean, it's team, so it's everybody being on the same page. I mean, obviously, Coach Prime's put a tremendous staff together. There's a lot of wisdom. There's a lot of knowledge. Guys know what they're doing. But I think the coolest thing about our staff is it's always like a collaboration of guys working together. You could say with all this combined experience, 160 years of NFL experience, wow, I mean, that's crazy, right? But there's no egos with these guys. Everybody's, putting one foot in front of the other, and we're doing the thing together, and everybody's just been really good to work with.
Neely, go ahead.
Coach Prime clearly believes in the staff, and he's called you up to speak to the team before, but he's prefaced that with, you're going to be a head coach one day. What does that mean to you to hear a guy like Coach Prime, Deion Sanders, say that about you professionally?
Yeah, no, thanks. I mean, it's obviously a great honor that he would speak that way of me. I have career aspirations of being a head coach, being able to lead, teach, and guide young men to get them where they're trying to go on the field and off the field. And that's a great goal of mine. Right now, I'm going to be where my feet are, be here, be in the moment, try to get this team as good as possible. And, it's interesting in life when I try to figure out my plan and I focus on what George Helow wants and not on what God wants, things never work out the way you want them to work out. So when the time's right and God blesses me with that opportunity, I'm going to take full advantage of that. And then you want to take the right one, right? I think we have great support here at the University of Colorado. It starts with our athletic director, Rick George. But when you take that head job, it's got to be the right one. Right place, right time. You want to have the right president of the school, the right athletic director. You want to have a good board of trustees, right? You want to have the financial funds to be able to get the right recruits in there. Geographically, it's got to be in a good place that makes sense. But I love where I'm at right now, Neely. And Unc, you know that. And it's just a privilege, it's a blessing, and it's an honor to be at the University of Colorado. He's such a good leader, and I've learned so many things from him. And then, of course, some of the other coaches that I've been around, it's kind of, you take a mixture in every recipe of being with Nick Saban twice, and being with Jim Harbaugh, and being with Kirby Smart, and Jimbo Fisher. The list goes on. But you take, everything that you've learned from all of these coaches, and you just put together, your plan and your bucket, and when the time's ready, I'll be ready.
Leo, go ahead.
Hey, Coach, when you look at the fact that this is a player-led team, who do you think are the players who are really standing out to you in leadership?
Yeah, Arden Walker is the first one that comes to mind. I'm really, really happy with his progress. We have a D-line group text message thread, and he'll always send stuff, the day before practice, let's be ready to go today, and the guys instantly respond to him. But the thing about Arden is he leads by doing, so that's, to me, the best form of leadership. His example and how he practices, the pad level he plays with, his effort and energy to the ball, the way he's been communicating, the sets, the way he's been, getting everybody in the huddle, and how we're running on and off the field. has been really good stuff with Arden. So I expect him to continue to lead. And, the thing about us, we talk about it all the time. It doesn't matter if you're a senior, a junior, a freshman, a newcomer coming in with a transfer portal, because we know the landscape of college football right now. But you learn by doing the right thing over and over and over again. And Arden's done that, and I'm really, really happy with his progress and where he's headed.
Brian, go ahead.
Coach, I want to ask you, speaking of Arden, and you mentioned the portal. In this era, there's so much change in rosters, honestly, but that front group, I think between the line and the edge, there's 11 guys who were on the team last year. How big of a deal is that you have so many guys that know this culture, they've been here for a year?
Yeah, no, it definitely helps. Some of the stuff, we'll make changes as we go, because Rob Livingston, he really does a tremendous job of making our scheme what it needs to be based off the players that we have. And I think that's what great coaches do. And Rob's a really good coach. So those guys have familiarity with kind of what we do and how we do it, just in terms of what we do on defense. So I think that's always good. That always helps out. But, it is what it is.
3 more. Jack, go ahead.
Hey, Coach. Also, with the transfer portal, just what are you seeing from some of your incoming transfers, like Gabriel, Jaheim? What are you kind of seeing?
Yeah, guys are getting, it's new, right? Like, I think one of the things about it is they're getting comfortable. We're getting comfortable with them. We're banking on their buy-in and being the people that we know that when we saw them in the portal that they can be. And then, on the flip side of that, what's hard about the portal is the teams, the opponents that we're about to play, like, we don't know what they have, because like 35% of some of these rosters have up to 50 new players on their team. So you can go through the tape and you can watch, the previous team that they were on, but what type of scheme are they going to be in now? And how is that new team going to utilize them? So, but as far as your question and the newcomers that we got, it's the first thing. It starts with total buy-in. We're not going to ask them to do anything that they can't do, but from an attitude and effort perspective, we've got to have it every day, and they've got to be bought in.
Jake, go ahead.
Coach, I want to ask you about Katon Wade, who obviously battled some injuries last year, maybe like in a limited role. Just have you seen his role expand so far in the early days of camp in this offseason? Yeah,
Keaton's doing a really good job. My talks with Keaton have been about being a 3-down player. We used him, halfway through the season last year, and it was mainly on 3rd down. And what we asked him to do, he did a really good job of. He went in, made some plays. The Arizona game speaks out to me. Had a couple sacks. But being a 3-down player, right? Being able to play the run and pass, and being able to set edges, and doing that on early downs is important. But not only for Keaton, we want that to be the whole group, all right? Because we're trying to push these players to be the best versions of themselves. But for the guys that get an opportunity on the team, they've got to be able to play 1st and 2nd down, all right? And you see all the guys, I show them clips of Aiden Hutchinson when I was back at Michigan, and a lot of them are him not rushing the passer. It's a lot of him setting edges, the violence that he played with in the run game and knocking guys back. And then you see these $40 million guys that are signing these deals, the Myles Garretts of the world, the Bosa brothers, and then you see the guy from Vegas. Those guys play the run, man, and they're very active and disruptive on 1st and 2nd down. So us collectively, as a group of edge guys, we want to be able to set the tone on 1st and 2nd down and earn the right to rush the passer on 3rd.
Nick, go ahead.
Hi, Coach. Curious, how do you measure progress during fall camp? Are there any milestones that you look for during this time of year?
Yeah, it's just always being on the rise. Fall camp's a grind, and it's about sacrifice and teamwork, and it's about commitment, and it's about getting better every day. And, our point of emphasis with the players is they got to do a good job of taking care of each other on the offensive defensive side of the ball and taking care of their bodies, getting in the hot tubs, the cold tubs. We have great facilities around here at the University of Colorado, so they have opportunities to, get anything and everything that they need. And then just to push one another, taking one step at a time. A big thing that we've been focusing on is when we make a mistake on the field, it's going to happen. Go to the next play, have a quick memory. You've got to have that in football. And then the great part of fall camp is getting all this meeting time. We're getting these guys after practice. We're getting them in meetings, through the day. We have walkthroughs, and we're treating those walkthroughs just in terms of getting our steps and hand strike and all that, as if we were getting a rep first game of the season versus Georgia Tech. So I think we just got to always be on the rise, be very attention to detail in what we're doing and how we're doing it, and just doing the things we need to do.
Last one, Neely, go ahead.
Coach, when you're in your drills or position meeting rooms, you stress two things. One is technique, be sound technical guy, but you also stress violence.
Yes.
What's the balance between those two things that are just seemingly opposite?
Yeah, well, I think, like, you know, we talk about it in the edge room. You've got to know what you're doing, what to do, how to do it, and why it's important to do it that way. So if I know when I'm in a 6 technique, I got to strike the tight end, I got to get vertical. I got to know where the back is. Is he to me? Is he away from me? When I'm in a 9 technique, okay, what's my responsibility? If we have a pressure, am I to the side of the pressure? Am I away from the pressure? Am I a hammer play? Like, you know, it's all technique and fundamentals and mentally knowing where I have to be and where I have to fit within the scheme. All right, but then when it comes down to it in the ball snap, I've got to be elbows in, knuckles out, thumbs up, setting edges with violence. All right, and then we want to be really good that when we get knocked back, all right, and our pad level's good, just how we disengage and how we find the football. All right, and that is big for us. That's big for the guys. They know that. Again, with Pecco and Sapp, those guys were very violent players for the time that they played in the NFL. So that's just who we are and who we want to be as a group, and that's stuff that we're going to preach every day. All right, but it starts with our leader, and I talk about this all the time, Coach Prime. You know, it's no good if one guy's doing it. So we're preaching on defense, and Robert Livingston's done a heck of a job of saying every play, man, we've got to have 11 guys chasing the football and playing together as a unit.
All right, thanks, Coach.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you guys. Appreciate it.